Hi, this is Strill, and I'm going to be doing my first book review. And I wanted to do it on a series of books. I'm cheating a little bit. It's actually 5 books, not just one. But I really do enjoy the series, and I think it's best to review them as a whole rather than just individually. And so I'm going to be doing it on the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. They're written by Rick Riordan, and they're young adult books. The main character starts out at 12 years old and then progresses to 16 years old by the end of the series. So I was first introduced to the series actually by the movie trailers, which came out several years ago, and I didn't know what it was about. I didn't really care to see it, but my mom is a teacher and she has read these books. She knew what it was about. And she's like, yeah, you should go see it. It should be interesting. And then I'll discuss the movies later. But it did interest me enough to start reading the books. And they are very good. Considering that they're young adult books, and sometimes young adult books, they can be really good, like the Harry Potter books are amazing. But then you get other books like, Twilight and some of the others that are just kind of fluffy and don't really have that much substance to them. These ones are amazing, and they get into a really good action-adventure type of vibe, and there's a little bit of romance in there, and it's just, I feel like there's a little bit of something for everybody, especially if you love Greek mythology. I mean, I was obsessed with it when I was younger. It definitely gives you a lot of stuff to like about it, and so I would definitely recommend these. The first one is The Lightning Thief. And the first 2 books of the series are good, and they're mostly standalone. You don't really need a whole lot of information to keep going. But once you hit the 3rd book in the series, you probably, like, if you get to the 3rd book and you like the third, if you like the other ones, just get the whole series. Because once you hit the 3rd book, you're going to be like, I need the rest of these, because events start to happen, and you really need the other books, so that you're not sitting there with a cliffhanger, wondering what's going to happen. So the main premise of these books is that there are demigods. They're the children of gods and humans. And the gods are not terribly faithful, not over the centuries, because they've been around for however many years. And so the main character is Percy Jackson, and he's one of these demigods. I won't tell you his parentage because that comes into play a lot in these books. But it starts out he doesn't know who he is, and that's kind of a typical trope, I think, of the young adult books like this, where, like Harry Potter, there's a big group of kids and they go to a school or a camp. They go to a camp in this one, and he eventually kind of sort of figures out, okay, I'm a demigod, but I don't really know what's going on. He still doesn't know who his parent is, and so he and a bunch of other demigod kids kind of get drawn into this big conflict in the first book and have to solve it. And they do it in a way that you don't feel like, oh my god, they're like 12-year-olds going out on this adventure. Why are the 12-year-olds going out on this adventure? No, it makes sense in the books, and I've never really found myself going, what? Why? I never questioned anything in these books, and that's how well they're written. They do get into a lot more, I wouldn't say necessarily like mature, like, kids can still read these. It's not super graphic or anything, but there is some more mature subject matter that does get brought up and is not explicitly said, but there is some material in here, and it shows really well that the author knows that that the characters evolve, and that there's material sometimes that you just can't you can't gloss over because it wouldn't work in the story. If you're in the mood for like a really nice like action-adventure type of story, I would definitely recommend these. And also, if you have kids, you could read these, and your kids could read these. I would say these are probably 5th or 6th grade reading level. I'm not sure. I'd have to actually check. But they are amazing. I definitely recommend them. And if you like these, there is a 2nd series called The Heroes of Olympus, and it continues the story of Percy Jackson, but it also goes into another demigod camp, more based on the Roman gods, and that series is also very good. I haven't read all of them because they're not all out yet, but yeah, there's plenty to read by Rick Riordan if you like him, so I definitely recommend him and give him a try. Alright, thanks.